Hi, I'm Dawn, and today I'm going to show you how to make millet flatbreads. These are really important to me because I absolutely love eating anything that's made out of any sort of grain. But through the medical medium, I've discovered that the best grain to eat is millet grain. And so I've learned how to make millet flatbreads, which are absolutely delicious. And so I'll just show you a picture of some that I made earlier. And this is what they look like. These are from my freezer, and this is what they look like. And as I'll show you later, you can really have them with anything you like. So let's get down to business. So let's go. We need 2 cupfuls of millet flour, and we need 2 cupfuls of boiling water. So first of all, this is the millet, and I've already boiled the kettle. So now I'm going to put the fire on to medium. And now I'm going to add my 2 cupfuls of water and bring that to boil. That's 1. And that's 2. And so we're going to gently, actually we can turn that up, we can bring that to a nice fast boil. And as soon as it starts to boil, we're going to put in the millet flour. And then we're going to time that for 2 minutes. I normally ask my husband to time this for me, but I'm just going to get my own phone so I can time it. That water is beginning to boil, as you can see. And so we're going to gently put in our 2 cupfuls of millet flour. And in addition to that, if you so desire, we will also put in half a teaspoon of salt. And can you make that rock salt, sea salt, or Himalayan pink salt? Those 3 will do. And so we time that now for 2 minutes. That's just started. And we bring that down to a more gentle boil. It's boiling there moderately. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to get hold of a nice heavy spoon. I'll go for a flat spoon. Now the next part is very important because you will see that it's quite a crumbly mix. You will see that it's going to be quite a crumbly mix. And what's important is when it stops boiling is to mix the grain and the water very carefully together. Now those of you who aren't in the know, like I was when I first started it, you might think, what on earth is this? There's no way I can make bread out of this. But actually, once we mix it all together and leave it to cool for 10 minutes, we now have a dough, we will have a dough that we can work with quite easily. Okay, so we're just waiting for that now to cook. How much time have I got left on my timer? I've got 51 seconds. So let me tell you a little bit more about where this came from. So as I told you, I like to eat gluten-free because sometimes when I eat lots of gluten, it messes with my stomach. And so I looked around for a good replacement. So I started looking on the internet, of course, and I came across lots of recipes for this. But the best one I found was from the medical medium. And so that's the one I've adopted. And so it took me a lot of time to be able to make this as well as I can now. So if you find that it's not working for you at first, don't give up. Just follow these instructions really to the T as I'm telling you to do them, and it will work. And as they say, you know, it all comes with practice, and practice makes perfect. And the more you do something, the better you get at it. Okay, so that's our 2 minutes up. Timer off. Come on, timer. Okay, so now we're going to turn that off. Now if there's a hard bit, this is it. And so now we're going to work that flour and that water together to become one. And you just do it ever so gently. And if you've got a bigger pot, you don't have to be as gently as I am. I'm just trying to not make a big fat mess. And so working that in. Obviously, if you've got a maid, you can make a mess because someone else is going to clean it up, but I don't want to clean it up later. Okay. Or you can ask your husband. Okay, so you can see that's coming together, and you know, just look carefully at it and just blend it in. It's just a matter of seeing what's dry, seeing what needs to be blended in with the water. I'll just let that bit go. Okay. So as you can probably see, perhaps a slightly deeper pot would be better for keeping a clean kitchen. Okay, so now you can keep going for a bit longer, just bringing it all together. A little bit as if you're making pastry really with a spoon. And of course I wouldn't be making pastry because I'm trying to keep away from grains that contain gluten. Right, so this is it really. If you look at that now, that is it looks crumbly and it doesn't look as though we could do anything with it. But let's leave it to cool now for 10 minutes. And I normally put it near an open window, but it's winter time. I'm not about to do that. So I'm just going to leave it for 10 minutes and then I'll get back to you. Hi, so now we're going to get the pan ready to cook the breads. And this is what I use, but you can quite easily use a skillet, a non-stick skillet if you want to. But this came with my cooker and that works well for me. Now what I do is, because the medical medium told me to, but I've seen that some people don't do this, so you don't have to, is I wipe my pan with a little bit, really a quarter teaspoon of coconut oil, which, as you probably know, is one of the healthiest oils that you can use. So if you're not already using coconut oil, get using it. Okay, great. So now let's go over to our, go over to our bread, our mixture, and here it is now. So that's heating up, and now's the time to bring it all together. So, hands in, and if you notice I'm using gloves, I've even washed my gloves with antibacterial soap just to make sure in these strange times. Okay, so we just start bringing it together, just like that, and you find this, it's rather like making, I don't know, Play-Doh or using plasticine. It just comes together quite nicely. And then what I do is I then make this big long, I don't know, thing like this, and I make sure I get as much of the bread together. And don't worry, if there's bits in the bottom, you can attach those later. And I break it into about 10 pieces. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if they're not equal in size and that bothers you, you can just add bits to each other as you go along. So that's a bit small, so I'll just take a bit off there. And I think they're all pretty much an even size now. And then I'll just make them into little balls like that, ready to shape them on a flat surface. So there's various ways of doing this, and you can use a rolling pin. Or you can use one of these. And there's also the flatbread maker that you can use, but I've not used that before, although I'm going to attempt to make a couple using them today. So this is how I normally make them. I normally get a plastic bag and just cut it down both sides. So I have this, and what I'm going to do is, once I've put my ball of millet on the bottom layer, I bring down the top layer. Now this is how I normally make it. I get this, and you can get this easily from any local Asian shop, or you can get it on, I don't like to advertise Amazon, but shops like that online for about £4. Okay, and so the whole point is we're going to flatten it. So I normally do this, and then I just carry on doing that until I get a shape and a size that I want. And it depends on how big you want your millet flatbreads to be. And in our household, this is about enough, because I've discovered that if I want to toast them, the slicers on my toaster, the slicing slots aren't that big. And that's it. And you put it down. And what I do is I have a little pattern going. So I put that one down. And here comes my next one. Just rolling and pressing. Press and press until you've got the size that you want. There. So that's another one of a similar size. And now, my next one, I'm going to do that using a rolling pin, which isn't the most successful method for me, but some of you might prefer to do it this way. So here we go. Put it down and use a little rolling pin. So this is what I would do. Some of you might have better ways of using a rolling pin, and you might think to yourself, oh, I can do it better than her, which is absolutely fine. Actually, this is feeling quite good today, and this is about the size I want it. And there you go, and there's that. And by then, when I've got 3 on, I'll turn that and the second one, because you only really need to cook them for 2 minutes on each side. And so I'll go make my next one, and when this one's ready, I'll take that one off, and I've got a little system going. So I'm going to do another one with a rolling pin. So, whoops. And that's why I don't use this method, because I'm all over the place. Like that. And this one's becoming quite a long one. Bit shapeless, this one. Okay, so we'll stop with that one. First of all, I'll take this one off and just put it there. Then I'll move them along in my little system, turn that one over. And of course, if you're using the frying pan, you know, it might take you longer, or you might have a different system. Right, so now I'm going to attempt the one I've not done before, the method I've not done before. And I'm going to use the machine. So let's see how this works. So I think it's quite brave of me to use it like this for the first time. Okay, so I'll put some paper on. Basically, that's to make sure it doesn't stick, that the dough doesn't stick to the machine. Okay, so here we go. Put it on. Woohoo! Press it down. And then a little bit further. Let's see what happens. How's that? Whoops. Well, we've got quite a nice flat one, but let me try it again. This time we'll put the top layer across, which is what you're supposed to do, I think. Oh, I can feel it going down now. That's it. Okay. Whoa, we've got a really nice size one here. In fact, that looks really professional. I think I'll try that again. Okay, so I'm going to take this one off, put that one there, move that one along, turn that one over. Whoops. A little bit broken there, but that's okay. Turn that one over. Put our nice professional looking one on here, and then get another one going. Right, who thinks I should try for this again? Let's go. Right, so we put that on there. We bring the paper over. Squash it down a bit. Pull that down. There we go. So another little go at that. Push it down. over. And I think that's good enough. So we'll move that one across, move that one up there, turn that one over. And where are we now? Whoops. Oh, that one's sticking a little bit. Right. So I'll put that on there and try and mend it a bit. There. So I'm going to make the rest of them and I'm going to come back to you because I'm pretty certain you don't want to just stand there watching me. I'm sure you're itching to go. Okay, see you later. So these are the finished products and I'm very happy with them and I'm quite excited to play around with my machine because I did get the best shape out of the machine and it was quite easy to use. And once again, I think it's going to be a matter of practice makes perfect. You know, the more you do something, the better you get. So now I'm going to show you how we eat them. And so over here, I've got 2 plates ready for me and hubby. And I'm going to take 2 of these. He's going to have a big one. And so he prefers them with peanut butter. And what I've got here is organic peanut butter because that will make a big difference to your health. Okay, so if you can get hold of organic peanut butter, please do so. And I would just spread that on like that. Simple as if you're using a normal slice of bread. No doubt hubby will put a bit more on. And so that's that. This is how I like them. I like them with, let's put that over there. I like them with a little bit of honey. And I learnt this from my daughter-in-law to be, and she lets honey just fall onto it, and it shouldn't be like that. Like this, she just lets honey fall onto it like that. Just a little bit. And then she spreads it across like that. And that's Steph, my lovely daughter-in-law to be. And she's also got my son Peter really into it as well. And she just chops banana like that. And you've got the most healthy snack or lunch if you want to. It could be a whole meal if you use 2 lots. And so that's just simply honey, or you could use maple syrup and banana, and it's lush. So I hope you're going to have a go at making these at home and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Yeah, so thank you for watching and staying with me.